How you doing? My name is Mario Lloyd, Real Estate Guru PK on YouTube and Instagram. Y'all check out my affiliate link with Justin P. He's half of the owner of Support Black Businesses. Y'all check out the Big Business and the Runaway Billionaire affiliate link down below in the description below. And y'all also check out N1 Finance, Weeble, and then I also have a course, an ebook. It's $25. It's like my mentor course. It shows you how to wholesale. And then my other affiliate links for SoFi, Robinhood, Discover, Chase, and that's it. Y'all have a nice day.
Yo, what's up, folks? This is another episode of the Real Estate Guru podcast. Ron over here, Mario, and myself, Josh. We're going to interview a couple of regular guys from Crosby, Texas. But now, of course, they reside here in H-Town, Houston. And I got Tony and Rob. And why don't y'all get into it, tell everybody who you are.
Introduce ourselves. Go ahead, Rob.
Robert Destin. I'm from Crosby, Texas. Everybody says like 30, 45 minutes right up the street, man. It's the east side of Houston. But east side of Houston. But it's the suburbs, and from Crosby, Texas. Born and raised there. Was a principal in Crosby, came back to my same community. Was able to, come back and give back to that community. So now I'm doing real estate. Me and Tony been doing real estate for a while now. Invested in a lot of things, and man, we here.
Definitely. And I'm Tony Bryant. Grew up in Crosby, now live in Houston, Texas. That's Tony B for Profit on Instagram. I consider myself a real estate investor, primarily because our day-to-day we own Home Buyers Texas, and we wholesale, loan money, do flips. So, everything real estate transaction, that's kind of what we do on our day-to-day. I'm also an investor in several businesses around Houston. That's restaurants, clubs, 11, 18-wheeler trucks, lend money to developers and so forth, and 3-time published author, come from nothing, and now I'm here.
Can you imagine, like, when we first met you guys a couple of weeks ago, we was at a small little private lounge.
Yeah. And
Turkey
Leg Hut.
Yeah. No, we was at
Legends.
Legends.
Yeah, Legends. So Turkey Leg Hut too. You want to do that?
Legends.
So we was at Legends, and not Legends the strip club. Legends, the
cigar line.
Yeah. So we had a chance to rub shoulders with you guys, and from the very beginning, I think that whole room was about uplifting each other. I was talking to somebody on the way over here. Everybody in that room was making a move of some sort, right. And still it always is, but they were there to simply interchange, talk, get to know who's who. And so I would have never thought when I met you that you were an author, that you had a book. And so it just kind of goes to show that, you don't never know who you're dealing with, but so you guys are in real estate. You own a company called
Home Buyers
Texas, and it's on Instagram, Home Buyers Texas.
Right.
And so you guys talk to us about how you started that, why you started it, and then where you're going with it.
Well, I mean, obviously, just like I said, Home Buyers Texas is real estate, home buyers, right? So we primarily started this about 3 years ago. Rob came to me. I guess go ahead and tell them the story, Rob. How you came to me as it regards to real estate.
I mean, you got to realize me and Tony been friends since high school.
Right.
Tony was a grade below me, but our ambition has always been the same. So even though he was a little bit younger than I, our ambition of being entrepreneurs and own our own business and whatever always brought us together. So, and I'm just giving y'all the background story. That's what we want. So Tony and I, Tony actually had a, what was it, with the rappers?
Oh yeah, I was always kind of in entertainment. I used to throw parties and
So anyway,
like
we got into that together, brought some people to the neighborhood. It was a total bust. But Tony and I always stayed in touch. So we started to, just be friends, but we always had a business mind together. So fast forward, about, I would say 5 years ago, me and Tony came in and we started to do some things in wholesaling together. And it didn't work out. We had a couple of houses. We looked at a couple of flips. It just didn't work out. The timing was bad. Right. Then 3 years ago, we came back and revisited again. And fast forward to now, and here we are. I think I came to Tony on a Friday, I said, hey, look, Tony, man, I got this thing called wholesaling. I said, I know last time we did it, it wasn't so good, but look, let's do this. Tony was all in, okay? At this time, I'm a principal at a school. So I came to Tony on a Friday. I told him about the wholesaling, okay? We looked at it again. He said, all right, cool, I'm in. So that Saturday, Tony called me and say, look, hey, man, I got a deal. Say, bullshit, you ain't got no deal that fast.
That fast.
He's like, I got a deal. So I'm like, okay. Well, fast forward that Monday, Tony did have a deal. We got it under contract. That next Monday, we had $20,000 in our hand.
Yeah, the next Tuesday, we had a $22,000 check. But yeah, the situation was, it was, our own dental offices. It was a doctor that previously worked for me. He was going through some stuff and, it just so happened to fit what we were looking for, right? Mm-hmm. So, got it under contract that Sunday or Monday, and, there's a whole process. And by the following Tuesday, we had a $22,000 check. Mm-hmm. Very first deal. So that was a little bit motivated.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What did y'all do differently from the first time to the second time from the first time?
I think it was timing. The first time we did it, that was probably, I think 5 or 6 years ago.
Right.
Wholesaling wasn't a big deal. Mm-hmm. And it just didn't manifest like we wanted to. So I think it was just timing.
Did y'all have to take a bunch of courses?
No,
or
we didn't take no. So I've been a real estate
mentor?
agent. Yeah, I've been a real estate agent since 2004.
Oh, okay, all right.
So really, before I came to Tony with it, I had already had 3 deals under contract and couldn't sell them.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So I still was gung ho about doing this business.
Yeah.
But fast forward to now, and it all paid off.
Gotcha. And as far as myself in real estate, I've been investing in real estate since like 2002. So I had been familiar my own stuff though. So, I had already been doing real estate, but I didn't really understand wholesaling like that. Yeah. So it was kind of new to me. So as far as the processes and everything, of course, I used to look at Carlton Sheets, Russ Whitney, all those guys way back in the day, dreaming and so forth. Yeah. And I did really well in real estate. But wholesaling was new to me. And it was, if I made 22 grand without owning nothing, without using my own credit, without having a license, and the very first weekend, I'm all in.
So, how they always like you're one deal away. Do y'all feel like that? Like you're one deal away?
Every second, you are one deal away, one phone call, one text message. Your grandmother could call somebody and that person want to sell. Like you're literally one deal away. You just got to keep pushing.
Do you think that's like being blessed, or you think that's like luck? Like what do you think about that?
I think I'm a believer, so I'm always gonna say it's about being blessed, but also you gotta put the energy into it. You know what I'm saying? It's consistent in your practices, but you gotta put the energy into it. You're not just gonna be blessed, without faith without works is dead, right? Exactly. So you gotta move with it. So as far as like, I think you just said something as it goes, you one deal away from what? I like a lot of people.
Like people like, okay, you one deal away, you can quit your job. You one deal away, you could.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess. I mean, in some people's cases, I wouldn't necessarily recommend quitting your job on one deal, no matter how much it is.
Like what you were saying, like that, when you're doing wholesaling, that's more earned income. But with some of these other deals you're telling me about, the restaurants, passive income.
Right. It's the passive income that lets you.
Yeah, that's what I'm about. But I like that you can, like you said, no credit and
no license.
All you're doing
no
is
money.
like what Mario says, you're just shuffling papers around.
Even though for me though, like I told you, I was a principal. That was 3 years ago. I just jumped. I didn't have any passive income. I was just blessed.
You just went on faith.
I went on faith.
You're not retirement income?
Yeah, I had retirement, but I wasn't retired.
So you weren't retired?
Yeah, I wasn't retired. I didn't retire.
Yeah.
So I took that money and I started to invest it, but I jumped first. Now, I wouldn't just tell anybody else to do it like that. You want to make sure that you at least have some passive income, but it was hard.
Yeah,
it was tough.
So you were still working?
Yeah, I was still working as a principal.
And by the way, I wouldn't encourage anybody just to quit their job and jump straight into wholesaling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even though we have a wholesale company, we still recommend, by every 3 deals, buy a property. It's just a platform so you can put some cash in the bank and be able to accumulate generational wealth. Yeah. Create gain these assets for your future, for your family, right? And then be able to create passive income.
Yep. I call it entry level into real estate.
It's definitely
that's definitely what it is.
Because most people that start real estate, the very first thing, and there's a twofold reason to why I say the first thing you should start to try to do is wholesale, is because you get to learn an actual deal. Exactly. You get to learn the terms. Exactly. So a seasoned investor, if I go to you and I say, hey, I've got XYZ, you're going to ask me some things that you need to know to invest into it. And if I don't know those terms and those numbers, then you're going to look at me like I'm crazy. So getting into wholesaling is the entry level part into real estate.
Definitely. So I teach this around the United States. And when I've taught thousands and thousands of people how to wholesale real estate on big businesses platform and other platforms as well. But my thing is, if you're going to get into real estate, buying, holding, selling, flipping, whatever you're doing, like you said, you have to learn wholesale real estate. It introduces you to the lingo. It introduces you to a lot of other stuff that I feel like will help you along the way and will save you money, definitely.
What's the path, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the path to anybody that normally wholesales is a wholesaler learns it, starts it, gets a couple deals under their belt, and then eventually when they start making money, they're like, hey, wait a minute, I just watched this guy flip this house for $100,000. Now I know what to do. And eventually all wholesalers get into actually investing.
Right. I can't say there's a timeline for someone because some people jump at different times. I would definitely say get a few deals under your belt, because once you look at the learning curve of flipping, that's totally different than the learning curve of wholesaling.
Oh yeah.
You're dealing with flipping, you're going to lose some money if you don't actually know those intricate details of a flip, permits, and all this other stuff that you got to go through. So, construction loans, it's a whole different ball game.
Are those some of the things that you teach?
Definitely.
Okay, good.
Definitely.
Good.
Yeah, and there's so many folks, like you just said, that's the entry into real estate, right? So it definitely helps you to be able to do whatever it is you want to ultimately do in real estate, whether that's flipping, whether that's owning multi-units or whatever, because you understand how people gain these particular properties, how to seek out these properties and so forth, and how to, how you can help a seller in certain situations. But, there's no barrier to entry other than really kind of understanding what you're doing. And because of that, you have so many people flocking, whether they ethical or not, into real estate, and it gives wholesaling a bad name because, I want to make this on a deal, instead of just really looking out for the seller and the integrity of the deal and making sure everyone wins. So, we really push ethics in business, period, ethics in real estate. I think that's really our motto, kind of, what we teach and what we press in every deal that we're a part of. We have to make sure that, there's integrity and everyone wins in that particular deal. So,
I think that's how you get a lot of business too. When people know that, like, I come to you and we're both winning, I mean, they're going to tell their friends about it. But if you feel like you lost at the end of the day,
you got to add value.
Yeah, exactly. So I definitely agree with that.
Another thing that I teach is creative financing as well. That's be able to structure deals. I think that is really the biggest part of what you learn in wholesaling, how to structure a deal. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's huge.
Oh, it is. You talked about ethics in anything that we do. I mean, you're in multiple businesses. You are as well. I'm in a completely different field in another business. There's always somebody who doesn't do things ethical. Right. And I think my humble opinion is that those guys normally don't last. You know what I mean? You fool me once and fool another guy, but it's a small circle. Yep. And once it comes around again that this guy is XYZ, not many people are going to do business with you anymore.
Especially with the reviews and all this stuff. Like for the internet, you get a bad name. It takes a while for it to disappear.
It takes a while for it to disappear.
Yeah.
And we've, Tony and I have been up to, at one time we had about 25 people in our organization. And that's not including our VAs and stuff like that. That's actual people working on the ground for us and with us.
Right.
But, in saying that, managing people and trying to manage them and make sure they're ethical, make sure they're doing things right, that's a big task. So, you're right when you say once you get a stain, even a little stain, it take a while for that stain to go away. So you want to make sure that you're doing things right.
Exactly. We're not dealing with guys that are just. I'm talking about you two guys. We're not dealing with guys here that just picked up something and learned it one day. You guys are educated.
Oh yeah.
You guys both hold degrees.
Oh, yeah.
You were a principal at a school.
That's correct.
And
3 years ago.
Yeah, and that's not that long ago. I always like to put a timeline because people want to know. He was a principal 10 years ago. He retired, took his retirement money, and then invested it.
This dude quit a 6-figure job.
Exactly.
Cold turkey.
Yeah, and that's tough. You talked about, I think Mario mentioned it a second ago, where you say, I would never, ever tell somebody to quit their job cold turkey and roll out.
Right.
And there's a term that I have for that. It's Tarzan swinging from the vine to the vine. Right?
Okay.
You never let go of one vine until you got your hand on the other one. Because what happens if you don't have your hand on the other one?
Fall.
You're dead.
Yeah.
So people everywhere, all around, they talk about money and entrepreneurship and jobs. And I'm going to just quit my job and do X, Y, Z, whether it's real estate or not.
Well, I think for me, it's how people make it look on Instagram and all these social media. It looks easy. Got all these other gurus that are saying, do this and do that, and this is what you're going to get. Well, it don't go like that, So you got people quitting their jobs and doing that, and they've been sold a wolf ticket.
That's right. It's a wolf ticket.
Yeah, it's a wolf ticket.
Hold on, I got a quick question.
Yeah.
Both of y'all got kids, right?
Yeah.
Like, are y'all cool with y'all kids like not wanting to be entrepreneurs, or are y'all cool with them kind of going down y'all route, like getting y'all master's degree and then having a job? Are y'all cool with that, or y'all like, hey, y'all got to be entrepreneurs?
Go ahead, Tom.
For me, I mean, because of my kids want to do specific things, it requires education. I'm a proponent of education, but I don't necessarily believe every profession needs it. I don't necessarily, it's really up to them. If they go down an entrepreneur way, dads that'll help them. If they just go the other route, dads that'll help them. So I just, as long as they do something, right, and they make their life fulfilling to them, and they could, sustain a healthy living and so forth. I'm not just, going to be a proponent of, stay home and don't do nothing, right? You got to be progressive every day and got to make sense for the future you say you want, and also, impactful.
You're showing them a different view of the world too, because I think a lot of people where your mom was an employee, everybody in your family's employee, so you start to think like that. So you're just showing them different views of the world,
Well, for me, my daughter's 18 years old. She's a senior in high school, and she wants to come work with dad. Okay. For me, and this is just me, even though I'm definitely damn sure a component of entrepreneurship, and she wants to do what I do.
Yeah.
But I want her to experience the college experience. That to me was life-changing to me.
Okay.
Now, just the part of going in debt and all that stuff, well, that's why I'm here now, to be able to help her along, and I'm blessed enough to be able to help her along so she won't have to take all of those loans out and come out with $100,000 in debt, you know what I'm saying, and just for one education degree, and when you're only making $80,000, $90,000. So for me, I do want my daughter to experience college, just because that experience, you grow up quick and you learn so much being on your own, but I want her to do what she wants to do, and she wants to be an entrepreneur like dad.
You value education in your family.
Totally.
So obviously, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
But, for her getting a degree, she don't have to. I'm not mad if she don't. As long as she is doing something that she loves and doing it well. You're not just going to do it in my house. You know what I'm saying? In my family, you're going to do it and do it well. We don't do stuff half-assed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my take.
So for me, I have a 19-year-old. He just graduated high school. He tried the JUCO thing. He's thinking he still wants to go to the military. That's always been in his head for a while. Obviously he can go my route and so forth, right? Or just go and get a job and so forth. But he's just been wanting to serve and do the military route. I can't talk him out of it. Not that, respect to all the military vets and everything.
Yeah.
He was looking at the Marines. So
I was in the Army, man. And so I've been on military base. Marines is the hardest. It's the roughest.
Marines
but
the
if
hardest.
you make it through you tough.
Yeah, so
I've been on military bases.
You know, he
it's
definitely
rough.
didn't get that from me, but I don't, you know, I respect that he wants to serve and so forth. As long as he has some sort of destination that he's, you know, aiming towards. You know, for me, yes, I went through school, but I've been a full-time entrepreneur since 2008. So I've learned so much more as an entrepreneur, and even when I was in corporate America, I learned so much doing, you know, practicalities than I have, you know, just as far as my education.
In corporate America?
So my career, I started out with Enterprise Rent a Car. So I was in the rental car
service.
Yep. The whole nine. You learn a whole lot with Enterprise Rent a Car, and then I switched to a sales and marketing director over Avis Budget Group. And in 2008, I got laid off. So became a full-time entrepreneur, got into exotic cars because I was paid what they called a non-compete. So I couldn't work in the replacement industry for 2 years. So I went into exotic cars, me and a business partner, and just been a full-time entrepreneur ever since.
So you made money right off the bat from being an entrepreneur. Did you have to like stumble a couple of times?
Fortunately for me, you know, I had a little money. You know, I did really well in real estate. Also, my wife's a dentist. And we also opened a dental office at the same time. So
that's dope.
So yeah, nice. You know, I didn't, you know, I felt a lot, you know, I've had a lot of financial hardships throughout my life. But you know, through trial and error, I learned to manage money really well and even advise other people how to manage money. So, yeah.
It was rough for me. It was rough for me, you know, starting out, you know, being ambitious and, you know, you got some things going, but sometimes all of those things don't flow at one time together, you know, so it took a while before those things just started to gel to where, you know, just sustaining was, you know, was there for me. So I can't just say that when I jumped that it was just, oh man, I'm, you know, this is great. No, it was a struggle. It was a learning curve. You know, and thank God that, you know, God gonna always provide the way. He gonna open the door. You gotta have faith though. And I always trusted God and never ever doubted what he told me to do.
At what point when you were working as a principal did you say in yourself, like in your head, either I don't want to be here or I'm not going to be here forever and I want to do something else? So how did that look in your head?
So I knew that they were not going to put my name on the school. You know, and you know, for me, I grew up in that neighborhood. That's the same neighborhood I used to tote a gun, same neighborhood I sold drugs in, same neighborhood I had fights in. So for those kids to see me in that position, they knew who I were. Their parents told them, oh yeah, and they seen me grow up as well. Maybe they were little kids, but I grew up with them. So, you know, for them to see me in that aspect, I've changed thousands of kids' lives just in that position alone. You know what I'm saying? So for them to see me doing that was big, but there was a cap.
Yep.
It was a cap.
Yep.
I don't want no caps.
Yep.
You know, I can't show them, you know, kids these days, they want to see the money. So I can't, and not about them, but it was about me and creating a legacy for my family. Like I said, they wouldn't go, even if they would have put my name on the school, what money is that bringing to my family? I would love it. But what money and legacy is that actually bringing to my family? It's not. So at some point I knew that I wanted to go into real estate full time because I'd been doing it as a real estate agent. I didn't know what capacity, but I knew that I was going to jump in sometime. And when my good friend who was the principal at the school that time, me and him were yin and yang. When he said, "Hey Rob, man, I got something else I'm going to do," I said, "Oh, that's my note." So it's kind of how it played out for me.
Good. So, got something?
Let's talk about the Airbnbs. Like, when did y'all start that? How's that going? Are y'all breaking even? Y'all making a profit, a decent profit? Because that's like the hot thing right now. Like everybody's trying to do Airbnb.
Shoot it.
Yeah, no. So for me, I only got 2.
Okay.
So I'm not. I'm seeing a little bit of profit right now. I just started them. Just actually.
In the areas as well.
Yeah, I got one downtown.
Okay.
And the other one over off Memorial.
Are they houses or apartments?
They're apartments.
Okay.
Yeah, they're apartments. So, you know, for me, I'm just starting to see some return with those. So I haven't been in the game a long time. We got friends that's in the game. TJ, he has over probably 30 units.
He's
a
Houston. He's a Houston king of
yeah. So that's our friend, and kind of get tips from different people on what to do, how to do it. And as far as a Toro, got 2 cars on Toro, so they're starting to break even with those. Just started that not too long ago. So for me, I'm just jumping into that game. Like I said, I've been more into the education and real estate. Just starting to, kind of branch out into some of those things. So,
what about other investments? Like I heard something about apartment buildings.
Yeah. So for me, just to finish answering his question, I have 2 Airbnbs. Okay. However, they're managed by Marcus Tolson, and they're pretty much in the I don't know if I should say the place where they are, but anyway, I also own townhomes, and as they become available, I'm just going to Airbnb them. I don't think I'm going to do the traditional lease with those because they're high end, they're downtown, east end of downtown, and I got 2 G-Wagons on order, so I'm not going to do Toro the deal, but I'm going to rent those to my specific clients that are tenants that lease from me.
So the townhouses that you have them, or you're
no, I own them. Yeah.
Okay, so is it like a row of townhouses maybe?
3 townhouses.
3 townhouses.
Yeah.
So did you build those or you buy those?
No, bought them.
You bought them already built. Okay, cool. And you want to your plan is, are they already on Airbnb or no?
No. I have tenants.
Okay, cool. Right. So you're gonna get them out.
Whenever their leases are done. No, whenever their leases
are done. Hopefully they're not watching.
Yeah. My cheapest rent is $2,900 a month. So and I'm.
So what you gonna do?
Like I say, I'm fortunate. I don't owe anything on them. So so it's just cash flow.
Oh, right nice.
So but Airbnb will double that.
Yep.
From what I understand.
Double.
From talking to TJ and a few folks and everything.
I've got 2 Airbnbs.
Who's gonna manage them?
So I have someone manage them right now.
Yeah. He's usually the guy that manage them. What does it take? How much percent does he take?
Yeah.
15.
Okay, that's cheap.
Yeah,
that's real cheap.
Yeah. Usually around 20%.
Yeah. I mean, I've interviewed some guys because I have 2 Airbnbs. And I at first, before I decided to manage them or self-manage them with somebody who's in-house that works for me, I said, well, let me interview somebody to see what it would cost to manage it. And I got 30% across the board. And so I said, well, it can't be that hard. I figure if I knew what was involved, then I would be able to say, yeah, you're worth your 30% or you're not. But so I have an Airbnb that is in the suburbs, and it does well. Sometimes it triples rent. And normally it doubles rent. So the normal market rent for that neighborhood is $21, $22. I'm averaging $4,900 a month on it. December, it's at $6,500 this month. And so it does well. It's a lot of work. Sometimes I look at myself and like, why are we doing this?
Well, what's the hardest thing about it?
To me, it's more of the worry. So if everything's on autopilot, the cleaning lady comes in, she cleans it, she leaves, she does all the laundry. I never got to worry about her because she knows how it's supposed to look. And every time she leaves, it looks like on the pictures. Like it's supposed to look. But at the same time, every time somebody leaves, you still worry about it. It's your property. It's your investment. Right. It's your asset. And so I tend to just zoom in there once a week, take a look at it, make sure it still looks good. So it's just to me.
You're not worried about the reviews or nothing like that.
I think my product is dope. So all my reviews, there's I put it. I've done it for 1 year.
Yeah.
And no lie, it has not been empty one weekend. Not at all. Phenomenal. Not one time.
It's a blessing.
And there's 85 reviews and they're all 5-star. So I'm not worried about that. Hey, I'm more worried about when's that guy going to come in and tear it up? When's this person going to come? But
why don't you set up people on Airbnb? I mean, if you're doing that well,
it's not that much money.
You might have to do a course with these guys.
Looking like you waiting on it to happen, man. You can't put that energy out there.
It's not that much money. I mean, we're not talking.
It's not that much money. No, you're doing. How many do you have? 1 or 2?
It's
you have
2. Yeah.
You can magnify that. I'm sure there's a lot of people would team up with you, man.
But then I got to give them money, right?
I mean, you're using leverage of other people. What's
to me? It's
15% of $100,000.
That's true. But how long is this Airbnb wave going to last?
Right.
2 years, 3 years, 5 years, because when it starts to die down, and what I believe I'm good at is starting to see the change. Mm-hmm. So I was in trucking for a little while. I started to see the change when they start to ban fracking, and I dumped out of it. I said, hey, I'm selling my truck, selling my trailer. Tell the driver, and 2 months later, everybody's stuck with a truck and trailer. No, they can't pay no more, right? Because it completely died out. So
don't you do truck and trailers?
Truck and booming,
yeah. So
it's back. It's booming. It's booming now.
It's booming, and like for me, I'm gonna speak just a little bit on it because I don't just like the restaurants. Passive, I don't manage anything.
Passive, okay.
I have trucks that's with my cousin Iron Horse Freight. I have them with a few other companies in their own contract, and that's just it. It's just cash flow to me. Wow. Same thing with the restaurants and everything else. So I can leverage my time to really kind of do what I want for the most part. So that's primarily why I'm at real estate. Dealing with real estate every day. I'm a person that comes from just my story. I come from really nothing. Living Section 8 housing. Parents got divorced when I was 9 years old. Dad got on drugs and so forth. So I didn't know what I wanted to do in life, but I knew specifically what I didn't want to do. And that was have a lethargic mindset, have excuses or drugs and poverty and so forth. I'm just kind of an example that anybody can make it from anywhere, as long as you have a will, a drive, and, just a little bit of support. You know what I'm saying? I have 2 associate's degrees, a bachelor's, a master's. I didn't have a lot of people at my graduation, a lot of family or anything like that, when typically I'd say something or whatever that I thought was the right thing, I was looked at as, he too good, outcast, and this and that. So I've been through those pieces of life, and now I just look at people different, and, my finance is different and so forth, and how I, pour out and want to help people. My mom was just like, she's just helping anybody in the neighborhood for the most part. So I think that's kind of where I get that from. And sometimes I put myself in situations just by, helping people a little too much than I should for the most part. But, I just want to encourage your audience, anybody out there that, hey, you can come from nothing and do whatever it is that you want to do in life, man.
Can we talk about, I don't want to cut you off, but can we talk about mentorship? Like who kind of guided y'all? And then can we talk about how y'all met Big Business and Chris Senegal?
Yeah. So like for me, I didn't have a mentor growing up. Okay. I just learned from afar, watching trial and error.
With the businesses as well, like
same thing. Trial and error. I've gotten business with people that, were not ethical and different things. So I've gone through all those different phases. So now obviously strength on the relationship. And it depends on what it is. Restaurant, great location, great concept, good people, they know what they're doing. They have a track record and so forth. So, it's easy to make an investment like that. Right. So, I'm not just going to invest in one because their mom makes a good gumbo or they got a, or I just know them, it has to make sense. Everything has to align. So just a little bit more cautious and calculated now on how I invest moving forward. But mentors, I never really had any. I just watch some of the successful people just like everybody else do online and so forth now, and just, try to emulate what they did, but I think it's a great thing to have a mentor, avoid a lot of mistakes, a lot of, speed up things a little bit, which we try to do now. So go ahead, Rob.
For me, I'm the same. Never had a mentor. I definitely feel like if you can get a mentor, it's definitely what you need to do. I've never had a mentor, though. I've looked at YouTube University. It was trial and error, and I learned this deal on my own, But at the same time, I think looking forward to everything that's happened, it happened for a reason. I think God had my destiny in his hand, and, he kind of already had a path for me. So I would say, man, people got to know their purpose and find their purpose, because everybody, you got to pray for your purpose. You got to pray for the vision and understanding to see where God wants you to be. God wants me. He wanted me to talk to people, to educate people. I'm a shepherd. That's my purpose. Okay. Now to answer your question, how I got with big business, it's a funny story.
Yeah, I heard the story.
I don't know if I told you.
You told me.
I told you the story, but just for the audience. I've been following big business for a minute. He's a guru. Just love the action, love the Jews that he always gave, always educating the people. So I've been following him probably about 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, when he said he was coming to town, I was like, oh man, I gotta go. Matter of fact, Tony actually told me that he was coming. I didn't even know. I'm like, the next day, I was like, oh, I'm booking. Yeah. And I booked right then the next day. So I get there and I'm going through the event, and the event is good. They dropping jewels or whatnot. Runaway Billionaire was there. A couple people there. So as I'm sitting, this guy was teaching wholesaling. Okay, now mind me and Tony have been teaching this for a couple years now. Mm-hmm. So this guy's teaching wholesaling, and you know me, I'm a teacher, I'm a principal, so I'm frustrated. Yeah, I don't feel like he's giving the people what they deserve. That's just my opinion. So anyway, met big business. We shook hands, and towards the end of the deal, I'm like, okay, all right, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? Toward the end of the guy's presentation that we're teaching wholesaler, because I was frustrated. Yeah. I want to grab the mic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So man, I get up and I leave. Well, let me backtrack. I met big business at the halftime, at lunch break. At lunch break, yeah. So me and him shook hands. I said, hey, look, this is what I do. I teach. You got anybody in Houston who want to know real estate, wholesale real estate? Look, send him my way. He was like, okay, cool. And he started shaking. Everybody wanted to meet big business. Mm-hmm. So boom, back to that. So I leave after the guy's presentation. I'm like, all right, I'm out. So I go to the restroom. When I get to the restroom, I'm about to leave, about to get in my car. And mind me, when I'm leaving and walking out of the conference, big business is on stage. He's talking with the mic. So I was like, okay, cool. Go in the restroom. Well, guess who comes behind me? Big business. Mm. So he comes behind me, he says, hey man, what you think? Mm. I was like, he was in the stall. I'm like, I knew he was talking to me. Yeah. Like, what you mean? So he's like, you know what I'm talking about. Then I said, I thought you would come out the stall, man. So boom, he come out the stall and we discuss kind of, the presentation and the conference and whatever. And man, we've been rocking ever since.
That was up.
He invited me to come with him everywhere that he went, and he was a man of his word. I've went from that point on, everywhere he spoke, I've spoke.
What year was this?
Educated. That was this year.
That was this year?
That was this year.
New.
But look, for me, I manifested it. Mm-hmm. I manifested. I said I was going to go there. I said I was going to get on this stage. I had that in my head already. I didn't know how it was going to happen. And when I left, I think I forgot about it at that point, but me going there was for a reason. Mm-hmm. I manifested getting on this stage and it happened. So, to everybody out there, if you want to do something, keep it in the forefront of your mind, write it down, put it on paper. Mm-hmm. You can manifest things. I believe in the law of attraction. So, but to answer your question, that's how I got on the stage with big business. Me and him have been rocking ever since. I would say he is more so a mentor to me. Mm-hmm. Just watching him, me and Runway Billionaire are good friends. He's a guru. He's a ClickFunnels guru. He's a beast. So, but that's how I got started.
What has that done for you since you started, on the same stage teaching with Greg?
Man, it's been catastrophic to our business. It's definitely helped us a lot. It's helped my speaking when I go different places. I've spoken in front of thousands of people. I've spoken in front of 10 people. Mm-hmm. When I speak in front of one person, I'm gonna give the same fire. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna bring the fire like I'm speaking in front of thousands of people. But it has definitely elevated, and it more so, I think the best thing it done for me, it enabled me to create relationships with people in the industry that it probably would have took me a longer time to create.
One correction, it hadn't been catastrophic too. It's been astronomical. As far as our business goes, just wanted to throw that out there.
No, I mean,
I did say catastrophic. I said catastrophic.
I knew
astronomical, not catastrophic.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah,
astronomical.
Appreciate it. Yeah, astronomical.
but some people don't like. I think sometimes people don't understand how that simple little thing you did, that one little thing that you talked to him about when you first introduced him at lunchtime.
Yeah.
That conversation in the restroom, the relationship that goes forward past that, how those little things are part of your maneuvering around it's this whole world that we're trying to maneuver in. And essentially we're all here to make profit, to better ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, so those little things that people do, like sometimes somebody say, well, you know, if you want me on stage, you have to pay me. You know, that mentality is wrong, you know, in a sense. And now, mind you, some people do it and they get away with it. And they, you know, there's always somebody capitalizing on something. But people don't understand that
opportunity.
Yeah, that one little thing.
Look, you can't skip the process.
Yeah.
You cannot skip the process. There's no jumping over the process. And when you try to skip the process, there's always a pitfall that's going to be right there waiting on you. Go through the process. You know, like I said, it was rough for me, but I went through the process. I'm still not exactly where I want to be. I'm still going through the process. I think we all will forever go through the process. It's going to always be a process. But when you know your purpose, then the process is easy because you have the faith because you know that's your purpose.
So, but to answer what you were saying, like some people deserve to be paid, you know, whatever they ask, really. So they've gone through the process and they are where they are, and you respect them, and they draw a crowd for you to come and see them. You know, for me, I just try to move with intention and belief and visualize myself doing certain things. And when it happens, you know, I'm not so surprised that it happens. Yep. So, but you know, if you know, a few years down the line, if I'm, you know, being blessed or you know, a speaker requiring a certain amount of money, then you know, I've gone through that process. I'm there.
Same with you. I feel like, you know, you've gone through that process. That one little thing got you, you know, the relationship, and the next 5 years, 2 years, 1 year, because things move fast. Whenever, when you've refined that process, then you can demand your fee, you know, to come out, or people flock to you to learn more about wholesaling. You know, they want to know the right way to wholesale. What way do I need to know?
But you know the thing about me, and I've even taken this from big business, and I've been like this before big business ever came into the picture. I would do it for free. Tony would do it for free. We love teaching. You know how many people that have came to our class that didn't have any money, and we said, no, come on. No, come sit in. Because we love teaching. We actually teach in our neighborhood as well on, we're trying to do it once a month. We're just not getting it started, but just teaching real estate for free. I just love teaching, you know, so even though I think God will provide the increase for me. So when I give the information, he going to provide the increase.
So what's the ultimate vision? You said you have a vision. Are you one of those people that you keep it a secret, or are you willing to tell us what's the ultimate vision for you, for both of you guys?
I say my ultimate vision is to be able to take care of everybody in my family. It's my ultimate vision. To be able to put everybody on.
Where do you see yourself? How are you doing? How do you see yourself doing that?
I mean, through real estate. Definitely through real estate.
You're gonna own apartment buildings?
Having either apartment building, having a team around me that's being able to be paid off my platform. My family being able to be paid forever off my platform and what I've created. However that looks, whether it's from restaurants, owning restaurants, these different businesses. I definitely am going to get into what Tony, I'm sitting and watch Tony invest in different businesses. Well, me and him have invested in businesses as well. And let me say this, all the time investing in business don't mean you're going to win. We've lost. We've lost a bunch of money, me and Tony, in businesses that we invested in here in Houston. So don't let me paint the picture like, just invest in business and and you're going to win. No, sometimes there's a loss you got to take. And you know, you got to be willing to take that loss.
What about you?
Yeah. So repeat your question.
What's your long-term vision? Where do you see yourself? Like, what would be the pinnacle for you? Like, man, I made it. I'm there.
Right. So I think for anybody in this room, I think it's always a secure family and so forth. I'm going to do that through obviously real estate, through some of the passive things that I have going on. We have a successful restaurant, Presley's in the Heights, and then you know, standard. I mean, other other ventures like that.
Yeah.
Right now for 2022, my play is more so just give value, and see how I can help other people. And through that, I think, I will gain certain opportunities to invest. And that's really how deals come to me, really, because I put good energy and good karma out there. And somehow I'm always getting presented opportunities. Mm-hmm. So I believe just, if you walk a certain way, if you carry yourself a certain way, and you genuinely are intentional about seeing people succeed, whether there's a fee or money's exchanged or not, and most of the time in my case it's not, then opportunities will come your way. So I'll just continue to ride in my lane, invest, make strategic and calculated investments to where, I could win and also help other people win. And then ultimately just be on a larger stage, impacting as many people as I can. So, I want to say it's selfless, really. I really want to add value to as many, more so entrepreneurs and people that have a genuine heart for whatever it is that they're doing, take whatever they're doing to the next level. So create some millionaires out there.
That's good. Okay. What do you like doing outside of real estate? What do y'all do besides? I mean, y'all look like a bunch of cowboys.
Outside?
I mean, like, what do y'all got?
I mean, for myself, I'm a pilot also, so I fly every weekend.
See.
For real?
So
wow.
yeah. So I mean, I have ambitions. I think my goal was to be able to buy a plane this first quarter of next year. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm still working on certain.
How much does that cost? To get,
depends on what plane you're looking at. Mine was like 300K.
What kind of plane you want? What's your ideal plane?
Right. So right now I'm looking at so I have 5 kids. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, I want like 6, 7 passenger, whatever. But right now I was looking at a Cirrus, one of the smaller planes.
Wow.
Can
we get a little King Air?
A little King, eventually, right?
350.
Get a little $3 million invested in. So, but I'm working on certain ratings right now. Once I finish those up, and then I'm gonna go to my rotary rating, which is helicopter also. So I want to own a plane and a helicopter within the next 5 years.
Wow.
So
what about you?
For me, it's a little different. I'm a country boy, man. I like to fish. I like to hunt.
Yeah.
I like to play golf. So, on my days off, if I can go to the golf course and swing the club, that's heaven for me. Mm-hmm. On not even my days off, on my days on, when I can go to the golf club and swing a club.
Yeah.
It relieves stress.
Nice.
Nice. I do it all the time. I have busy days, and I hurry up and jam in everything I got to do, and I run straight to the golf club.
Straight to the golf course.
And it helps me think.
Yes.
It clears my mind.
Yes.
I get to see beautiful scenery.
Yeah.
hack on the ball and mess it all up, but at the same time,
lose a few dollars.
And then, but you do it clears your mind. I think everybody has to have some sort of hobby. I'm sure you have a hobby. His hobby is hooping.
Yeah.
Your hobby is the gym and hooping.
Hooping this morning.
Yeah. So that I think that's a healthy thing for anybody who is any sort of successful or operates at a high level. They all have that. You might be flying.
Yeah, you got to have that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And me and Tony, we hang out. We'll go to the bar and just hang out a little bit, and
So y'all have known each other since high school.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There's got to be a story that y'all laugh about all the time. One story y'all laugh about all the time.
I'm sure they got stories they don't want.
Yeah, we
they
fuss
wives
about,
know
we fuss about all the time.
I know y'all get a lot of publicity with those hats though.
Well, the hat deal was Tony's idea.
I like the hats.
It was genius, man.
Yeah.
Even though I got pictures with me in cowboy hats from when I was a little baby.
Yeah.
So something that I've always done. But Tony came, he said, look, this is what our vision is going to be. We're going to do this. Mm-hmm. And that's what we've done. And it stuck. You know what I'm saying? His vision was the hats, and we ran with it. And it was definitely a brand that has stuck and will last over time.
Now so I wear hats all the time, right? Yeah. So it's not like we didn't wear hats.
Right.
Correct. For this. So, but with this, being intentional about it when we go certain places, people recognize us and remember us.
It's branding.
So
it's branding.
It's all part of branding,
right?
Branding is important.
So yeah.
So you guys are perfecting a course right now called The Play.
That's correct.
Right?
Yeah, The Play on how to wholesale real estate. It's a mastery course that we're working on, putting finishing touches on it, really. We're thinking by, late January, we should have it solidified and ready to shoot out.
How much is it going to cost?
probably a few $100s, $500 at most. I mean, we're not trying to, you know what I'm saying? For us, it's, you can go out there, YouTube University, everybody has a course, and we're probably not going to teach you specifically anything different than a lot of other courses out there. The thing is, you get our experience, you got our firsthand experience. And so many people haven't made $1 million in real estate coming out selling real estate courses. You know what I'm saying? So not to knock anything from them, but there's credibility with what we're doing. And we've gone through some stuff. We've been sued. So we've gone through some stuff, that maybe a traditional course just won't tell you. You can get a lot of this stuff from like I said, YouTube or whatever, but collectively and one course for the most part, we're working really hard to put our experiences together. He's been a real estate agent for over 15 years. I've been personally firsthand investing in real estate since 2002. My portfolio now is over $2 million free and clear. So I mean, I consider myself a real deal. So
if somebody reaches out on Instagram, like they want your mentorship, what do they do?
So mentorship, we reach out to Rob. I would say what's your IG?
It's Mr. _ I buy houses, but you can definitely hit me on a DM. I'm sure they can contact y'all through the podcast or whatever to get in contact with us. But yeah, we can talk about our mentorship program.
Yeah, for me, I don't give a whole lot of time. I want to. I don't have a whole lot of time to give towards mentorship right now. So for me, it's something I'm working on.
I got one question. Crypto. You got any crypto holdings?
Yes, I do have crypto holdings. I'm not a genius in it, but I've thrown last month. I threw $50,000 in the crypto.
Is this your
I was on the Shiba move. No. I got in on Bitcoin when it was like probably in 19 or something like that. So when it was I bought a Bitcoin. Good. It was like $2,000 or something like that. It went up to 19.
Wow. And it came back down.
It came back. Yeah, as I was saying, it came back down. Yeah. It's been down ever since. So I had a few coins. I sold some when it was coming down like at 17 grand or whatever. Yeah. And then I bought back in at like 3. So I only have 1 Bitcoin, and then I got a bunch of Shiba, and then a few other altcoins.
What you gonna do with Shiba? You gonna hold them?
So I was advised a month ago. Yeah. My Shiba had went way up. It's been down ever since. Yeah. I was told that in December 15th.
That's stuff. So it's a weird market right now.
So I'm gonna ride right now.
It's a crazy. That's what he was asking me. He's like, "Should I buy a Bitcoin?" I was like, "Man, it's a weird market right now." So I would not advise you to just throw $50K at it.
I mean, it's down. I mean, it's relative to whatever you want to throw into it. But I think given that everything's down, I would say that's a good time to buy. I'm putting more money right now. I'm about to put a decent chunk in NFTs. I got somebody I'm working with that understands them a little bit more than I do. It's new to everybody. You already got these gurus, and it's new. How you're a guru already, right? Yeah. So I'm trying to understand it a little bit more, and we'll see what the future months hold.
Mari, you got some questions?
Let me hit him with the questions. Let me hit y'all with the questions. Okay. We're gonna finish up.
We'll be able to answer.
You got another question?
We do this. Mari's gonna finish out with these questions in a minute. We do this thing called the Minority Report, and so what I'd like for both of you guys to do individually is predict what do you see as a whole. Like, where do you see Airbnb going? Where do you see Turo going? And where do you see real estate investing, wholesaling as a whole, and the market in the next 2 to 4 years?
Definitely. I'll start with that. Airbnb, I see Airbnb being around for a little while. I'm thinking at least it's going to have a good run. Let me say that. It's going to have a damn good run. Turo, I'm kind of up in there on that one. Dealing with the maintenance and all the stuff that comes with Turo, the drop off, the pickup. There's a lot of people that jump in it with 5 and 6 cars. Let's go for to make all this money, but they don't actually see the work that goes into it. So I think that's just my prediction. I think there's going to be a little drop off in that. Airbnb, no. Now, as far as the real estate game, I've studied this game forever. Like I said, I've been in real estate since 2004. I think the market is, once the moratorium hits and it is released, there are going to be a number of houses that are going to get foreclosed on. Okay, so when that happens, there are going to be opportunities for wholesalers and opportunities for everybody to make a lot of money. But you're going to have to be in position. You're going to have to know what you're doing. And, it's just going to have to be good timing for you. But I predict around the summertime, they're going to start next month. So they're going to trickle to the summer. Once summer hits, I think they're going to be in your hand if you right there ready and prepared for them. Okay. So that's my prediction.
Good call.
Good info.
So Airbnb, Turo, and wholesaling, I think all of them are saturated, quite frankly. But I think as far as, Airbnb, I think there's certain regulations that are going to be put in place. Talking to TJ and so forth, I don't think necessarily I see an ending within any recent time. He's on part of certain boards and so forth. So they're making regulations to make regulations a little bit tighter. But I don't see it going anywhere necessarily. I mean, of course, like when I go places, I prefer to stay in the house now than a hotel room, even if it's a nice hotel room, just the space that you get and everything else. Turo, coming from a rental background and, having done the, traditional cars and the exotic cars and so forth, and this was way before Turo was around, I don't think it's gonna, and there's so many folks, that's kind of the go-to now. You want to become an entrepreneur, automatically go to Turo, automatically go to these things. I don't think it's gonna, I give it 10 years, you know what I'm saying? So that's just me. So a lot of these folks in Turo and Airbnb need to learn to pivot. You know what I'm saying? And not be stuck with all these notes. You know what I'm saying? If they got all these leases or so forth. That's why I like, as far as my personal inventory townhomes and so forth, I own them. You know what I'm saying? So once I can always turn it into a rental or do whatever. So those are my takes on that. As far as wholesaling, again, it's saturated. A lot of folks are coming in. I think there's going to be a lot more regulations, may require a license in the future. But as far as like the folks that are in it, the folks that want to get into it, get with someone that's professional, that you can actually build a business about it. You know what I'm saying? And don't use it as your career. Use it to build as a platform to accumulate properties and build generational wealth.
Okay.
Excellent. Appreciate that, guys.
You need to do
Are y'all ready for the questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, bro.
That was good, though. That was very good, both of y'all.
Good points.
All right. Rental property or Airbnb?
Rental property.
Rental property? Airbnb. Commercial building or house? Commercial. Section 8 or regular tenant?
For me, regular tenant.
I'm going to go with the Section 8.
Section 8. Money or equity?
Equity all day.
Okay. 1 million followers or a rental property?
1 million followers.
1 million followers.
Okay. Houston or Crosby?
Go with the H.
Man, Crosby.
Houston.
Man. BST. Barrett Station, Texas, man.
Okay. Big business or Chris Synagogue?
Big business all day.
They both my boys.
I mean, they my boys too. But,
Okay. 850 credit score, $1 million.
$1 million.
Give me the $1
million. Okay. I think that's it. I like asking everybody this. Michael Jordan or Allen Iverson?
I always go with Jordan. I know he shook him that one time, but
hey, I got Iverson twice with Runway and
I'm gonna go with Mike.
You can go with Mike.
Yeah,
he's legendary, man. I mean, Iverson Cole. I mean, it's not hard though. Yeah. It's not hard to pick between the two.
Okay,
that was one shake. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
That was we appreciate you guys stopping by. Again, there's going to be a course coming out. It's called The Play.
Definitely.
right?
The book.
And you'll be able to find it on the Instagram to the wholesaling company, which is
Homebuyers Texas.
Homebuyers Texas.
At Homebuyers Texas.
Yep, at Homebuyers Texas on Instagram. They talked about doing things the right way. They talked about teaching people the right way. You have a seasoned investor in multiple things, whether if it's from restaurants to real estate to other types of businesses, and you have educated guys that were, one of them was a principal, so we know that he knows how to teach, and so now they're going to put a course out there. So go get the course when it's there, and then if you need mentorship, reach out to them. And these guys are assets to the community. So we appreciate you guys here, and hopefully the folks that are listening will pick up something that's that one little gem they can use, take them to the next level.
Of value, helpful blessings.
Thanks, guys. We're out.
Blessings.
All right.